Hi, and welcome back to Football Made Simple. Anfield was the stage for another great Champions League night when Liverpool and Atleti squared off. Two elite managers and two contrasting styles locked horns, and in an interesting match, Atleti came away with a 3-2 win thanks to a double from Llorente and a Morata goal, whilst Wijnaldum and Firmino did the damage for the hosts. But Liverpool were not clinical in this match. But let's take a look at the tactics that both managers used. Just before we get into that though, a quick shout out to this video sponsor, The Athletic. If you enjoyed this video, you'll love The Athletic, which is a subscription-based sports news site delivering insider articles and podcasts you can't find anywhere else, and you can customize it to follow your favorite team. It has no ads, no clickbait, just great stories. Using the link below, you can get a free 7-day trial, and for Football Made Simple viewers, you can get a 50% discount after that. Visit theathletic.co.uk/footballmadesimple, and it helps support the channel. As Liverpool orchestrated the majority of the play with 71% possession, let's start with how they built up. When Liverpool were building up in their default shape, Atleti were in a 4-4-2 mid-block to begin with. So, Liverpool often switched to a back three for the extra man to provide an advantage. Crucially, a midfielder dropped into the back three rather than a fullback to allow them to push higher and give them some width instead. This was particularly useful as Atleti's 4-4-2 saw both Correa and Saul tug right infield, as they didn't want to leave their two central midfielders against Liverpool's three. One of the reasons that Atleti came under heavy pressure was that at times their front two pressed higher in the build-up, but their midfield and defense stayed deeper, meaning it was a simple pass into Liverpool's pivots and they could turn unchallenged. But because Atleti were so narrowly compact, it was hard to find any opportunities through the centre, so instead, Liverpool opted to attack through the wide regions. One way they did this was by constantly looking to shift Atleti across the pitch, with quick switches from Trent to Robertson being commonplace, to try and grow the gaps between the Atleti players. This was aided by Mane often tucking in narrow to draw the full-back, and Wijnaldum pushing high to draw Correa, and this would free Robertson, and then the narrow forwards and the midfielders could look to overload the box for Liverpool. In fact, Trent and Robertson attempted 38 crosses, including set pieces, between them, compared to Atleti's 7 as a whole. But on the right, they found most of their success. With their two wide midfielders in their half spaces, Firmino would often drop deep in front of Atleti's midfield to draw their attention. The winger would be on Trent, full back on Salah, creating space in this region that Oxlade-Chamberlain or Wijnaldum after his substitution made runs into time and again, and the Atleti midfielders were caught off guard and would be slow to react, allowing Liverpool to cross. Wijnaldum from his position could easily join to overload the box, and this is how the first Liverpool goal comes about. A variation on this was when Firmino wanted to stay higher in the box. Alexander-Arnold instead could become the third central midfielder, drifting in to allow Oxlade-Chamberlain to still make his wide run, which is something that they did time and again. From here, Trent could thread the ball into him or cross from deep, as we have examined on our dedicated video on Alexander-Arnold. Atleti were camped in their half for most of this match, as they didn't offer any mid or high block to challenge Liverpool in their build-up. Instead, they dropped deep, meaning Liverpool could constantly pile pressure on them. This meant that when Atleti did win the ball, with Liverpool gegenpressing while around the ball, Atleti were often forced into an aimless long ball. As the match went on, the likes of Partey had to attempt risky passes and dribbles right outside their own box to break the press, otherwise they would have been stuck in a never-ending loop of clearing and then defending. So another way Liverpool looked to break down the deep block was by attacking before it became a deep block. Liverpool, and Van Dijk in particular, weren't afraid to go long from deep, particularly to Salah, who they looked to isolate 1 versus 1 against Lodi, or behind the high line, which they did time and again. In the second half, they did this by pushing Wijnaldum wide on the build-up, drawing the left winger here, and he could then find Salah, who could now run at Lodi one-on-one. From here, he could play in a teammate or cut in for the shot. These runs also had the effect of pushing Atleti deep to momentarily create space between the lines for Oxlade-Chamberlain and Wijnaldum to operate. In these phases, Atleti were also at their most dangerous. Trent and Robertson's high runs left space behind them, which on the break, Atleti's forwards looked to attack time and again, with runs from in to out between the centre-backs. And in fact, these patterns are present in 2 of Atleti's goals. Let's have a quick look at what Atleti did with their limited possession. From deep, as Liverpool pressed high, they avoided playing out and instead went long and into the wide regions, looking to get men around the knockdown. But when they did get higher, Lodi was their main outlet down the left. With Saul moving central and Liverpool often keeping Salah high and to the right, Lodi was proactive in this space, looking to get the cross in, and this did lead to some dangerous situations. Overall, this was not a solid defensive performance from either side. Atleti gave up numerous chances, and only poor finishing and great goalkeeping saved them. Liverpool themselves were often shaky on the break, often overcommitting in attack and leaving themselves vulnerable. But as always, in a 120-minute game, not every tactic could be covered. So what else did you notice? Drop it down in the comments below. And how far do you think Atleti will go this year? Let me know. But that's all for today, and remember, keep it simple.